Hey, good day, good day, good day. It's Ronco Johnson, your lifestyle focused wealth coach. Thank you for joining us. It's When the Lights Go Out. Are you ready? Guess what? It's Lifestyle Focused Friday, y'all. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Today, we're going to be talking about 10 actionable failing forward strategies and how you can embrace the mindset. And we're going to be talking about that a little bit deeper. Yes, we're going to revisit one of our earlier conversations about failing forward. Many of you have had questions, and many more details are needed to help you start failing forward. So today, that's what we're going to tackle on this episode. You don't want to miss it. Stick around. We're going to give you 10 of my favorite actionable steps of how failing forward can change your mindset and change your life. You want to stay tuned. You want to be a part of what we're talking about. So stick around, get inside, be part of the conversation. And I'll see you in just a couple of seconds. So do me a favor. Grab a cup of coffee, sit back, relax, and unwind. It's your boy. This is When the Lights Go Out. Are you ready? See you inside. Hey, good day, good day, good day, everybody. It's Ronco Johnson, your lifestyle-focused wealth coach. Thank you for joining us. We got another episode of When the Lights Go Out. Are you ready? It's Lifestyle Focused Friday. It's a beautiful, beautiful Friday. I hope you guys are enjoying the weather, the sunshine. You know, this past week here in Georgia, we had a crazy time. It went from 85 degrees down to 35 degrees. Then we had the tornado. Man, there's been a lot of things going on. But before I jump into the situation today, I just want to say thank you guys for joining us and hanging out with us from week to week. And I'm beginning to get more and more details and emails. And for those of you that reached out to me last week, my deepest apologies. You know, in this day and time, you really cannot do anything without your cell phone. And I have to tell you, I had to learn the hard way. Simply dropped my cell phone. I got to share the story before I get into it. Simply dropped my cell phone at my doctor's office. It gets knocked off the shelf. You look at the phone looks perfect, except for it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's dialing on its own. It's going online. It's calling people that I don't want to call. Even if I had bill collectors, it's calling them back. It was a mess. It was a mess. I took my phone to the people that I have my service with. I'll just keep them nameless for now. I walk in the store and they tell me, oh, you absolutely need a new phone. This phone is old. This phone can't do this and that. And the phone has no value because it has a scratch on it. As I sit there and contemplate spending another $1,000 for a new cell phone with all the contacts in the world in it, I can't dial it. I can't see your phone numbers. I can't use the GPS code. I was even looking to get out of town. I couldn't get my Delta miles. I couldn't get anything. Everything was shut down. Even when I got home, I wanted to get onto the computer and check all of our services. And the two-way verification says, we're going to send you a text message to your phone so you can open your computer at home. Guess what? The phone doesn't work. Y'all, I can't make this up. I can't make it up. I just have to go on live and talk about it. Why? Because some of you miss me an awful lot. And when you don't hear from me, you start to panic. And that's what makes this spot so hot, is the fact that I love you guys back. And for those of you who have been giving me a hard time this past week, or some of you that have been picking on me about my phone, I got news for you. Shout out to my guys that happen to fix my phone. Shout out to my guys that happen to fix my phone. Yes, it's an older phone, but yes, it does things that other people can't do. And I have to be honest with you. I have to be honest with you. As I'm sitting here talking about it, I swear to you not, if you're ever in town, you got to go by the Fix. Go see my guy's son. If you got a cell phone that needs to be fixed and repaired, if it's just glass, if it's doing crazy things, before you spend that money, this is a free shout out to you, son. Thank you so much at the Fix at Town Center Mall in Marietta, Georgia. So you can catch them online. You can go look them up. Tell them Ronco sent you. But he got me back. I'm ready to rock and roll. And shout out to my guys over there, man. They really do some great work, and they make me look good. Make me look good, and they actually save me money. $132 later, I was back in motion. So I do ask for forgiveness, but it is what it is. It's part of it, right? That's what makes this thing so special, is the fact that I got you guys to share my daily activities with, and we're not making it up. Welcome back to When the Lights Go Out. Are you ready? What is that? What are we talking about? We're talking about lifestyle-focused wealth things, guys. We're talking about things that wealthy individuals do, millionaires and billionaires. What do they do? What do they do? How? Why? What's the mentality? If I had to change something, could I make that change immediately, or does it take more time? Does it take more time? Well, we're going to jump into that today. We're going to be talking about the mindset. We're going to be talking about growth. We're going to be talking about how you see things, how you interpret things. It all matters. It really does. It all matters. I want to say hello to Canton, Georgia. Hey, Leela, I see you. Thank you so much for checking in on me. And who else is out there today? I see Shakila. Thank you. I hope I said it correctly. Thank you for joining us today. I see you. I see you. Thank you for hanging out. And hey, my boy, Sam, I see you, buddy. Thank you for hanging in there. All you guys that I see online, man, thank you guys so much. Hey, Miss Henderson, what's going on out there in Wisconsin? I see you. Thank you so much. You know, I don't know what I would do without you guys in the back office. I'm going to tell you really quickly. If you haven't figured it out yet, we have a community. Our community is called our Lifestyle Focused Wealth Community. And we really want you to be a part of our community. You know why? Because they're just people, individual people who are taking advantage of what millionaires and billionaires do. You know, we've been talking about everything from becoming your own bank and having your trust and creating your companies. And really all we're talking about is freedom. And when we say wealth, we're talking about having time to create memories. We're talking about the opportunity to be who you want to be, when you want to be it, with who you want to be it with, when you desire. That's wealth. But we're talking about using these materialistic tools called cash and how we can make those evolve to help us create the lifestyle that we want to have in a tax-free environment and having more control. And that's when you got freedom. When you control everything, but you own very little. Got me? You got me? So listen, if this is your first time checking in, thank you for joining us. And go ahead and tell somebody. Do me a favor before we get started. Let me give a couple of rules. A couple of rules and a big old ask that I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask you guys to do a few things. I know that we have people who are joining us. I'm just going to encourage you to do one thing for me. If you're going to listen to what we're speaking of and you see some value in what we're talking about, all I want you to do is put the word takeaways in the comments if you're going to make a comment. But it's mandatory. This is mandatory. If you can hear my voice, see my face right now, hit the like button. Stop being selfish. Hit the button, subscribe to us so you can be a part of the group, a part of the club, be a part of the culture. We need your input. Share it with your friends. And don't forget to hit the notification bell, right? That's what's sexy in this 2025 is the ability to share. And that's what makes this hot. So we want you to be on our email subscriptions, and we want you to be able to get our email bi-weekly, because we got some hot stuff coming up. Articles, art, travel, recipes, and much, much more is always free. So go ahead and sign up. You'll catch it in the descriptions at the end of the podcast. And, we want to make sure everybody's included, right? We want to make sure you can get joined up and join us and be a part of the solution and start to spread this thing around like wildfire. And we are, and I really appreciate it. So we want you to join our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community. And it's very fun to do. It's pretty easy. Go to lifestylefocusedwealthcommunity.com. And all you have to do is join there. Or you can go to roncojohnson.com. It's $16 per month when you pay the annual subscription. Go ahead and be a member. Get swagged out, wear some of our gear, be invited to our events, and get our magazines, our newsletters, and all the other stuff we got coming up. And then hopefully I can catch you in some of our coaching classes to help you get to where we want to go in the future. But without further ado, we're going to be talking about 10 actionable steps of how to fail forward. And we're going to talk about these strategies to help you embrace the mindset. And hopefully it gets you where you want to be, right? So get your pens out and get ready for this one, because we're going to ask for you to give us some dialogue. We're going to need it today. We're going to need your dialogue today. And I know there's going to be some of you out there saying, how do I shift my mindset? How do I shift the way that I currently think? But we're going to go over it, because ultimately when you are failing forward, it's going to create a mental environment that prioritizes progress over perfection. Yes, you don't have to be perfect. It cultivates a belief that even failure continues to be positive to your personal and professional development. So you can start to shift how you see what we call negative reactions. We can see it as a positive. And how do you flip the switch? Have you been guilty of thinking about something in a negative way far too long? I know I have. That's why I want to share it with you. And these are great personal development tools that you can take with you. And I'm sure by adopting this mindset, you can actually change the trajectory of your life. I truly believe that. And I look forward to joining with us. So sit back, relax, and unwind. Join us after the break. And let's get into it. Hey, join our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community. Membership starting at $16 a month when you pay the annual subscription. So register online today at www.lifestylefocusedwealth.com. So guess what we're going to be talking about today? We're talking about those 10 opportunities, those 10 actionable steps towards failing forward, and why this makes all the difference in the world. I think you got to understand, why is it that some of the most successful people in the world can fail over and over again? When you really think about it, it almost doesn't make sense. That, how does failure promote a positive reaction in your mind? When most of us are so terrified of failing in the first place. It's such a horrible feeling. Until you realize that failing has some advantages. There's lessons to be learned that come from failure. And in that, we start failing forward. Like I said, if the pan is hot and you touch it and you burn your hand, the very next time not to touch that pan, right? You also knew that when your mom and dad told you to be in before that street light went out, if you were late that first time, you probably weren't late anymore ever in your career as a child. If you were like me, anyway. Got to be home before that street light, right? So let's talk about failing forward. Number one, let's talk about how you redefine failure. And I think that's important. When we talk about redefining failure, what do I mean? Number one, you got to redefine what it means to fail. You got to shift your perspective on failure. It's not the end, but it's a step on a path of growth. Okay, so when you start seeing setbacks as opportunities, you're learning something valuable. And I hope I just said it right there. You're learning something valuable. If this is a setback, how do you overcome it? You see it in sports. It is March Madness. There's going to be some failures going to happen, but I can tell you, every one of those athletes are going to take something from this experience, those memories, as they move forward in their careers, and they're going to have value from what they've learned from what we perceive today as failure. Maybe they don't win a national championship, but in the long-term scheme of things, they've learned how to work as hard as they possibly can. They've learned how to be a good teammate. They've learned how to be a good personality. They've learned how to have great work ethic. A lot of these details are going to be transferable habits that go way into your life. So you might not win that trophy today, but you're winning that trophy in your life. Why? Because you've learned how to redefine failure. Right? Because we learn how to redefine failure. Number two, when you set achievable goals, I think it's important for us to break larger objectives into smaller, manageable steps. You know, you can't eat the whole doggone watermelon. You got to kind of break it down, chop it up, and take it a slice at a time. Because if you do it this way, even if one step doesn't work and you find out that maybe this is questionable, but if you believe in the system, if you believe in the process, you can adjust without losing sight of your overall goal. And when you start to make those adjustments, guess what's happening? You're just effectively getting rid of the things that you don't need. And all you're focusing on is the things that are most effective on your journey. And that journey can be replicated over and over and over again. And I think, for me, I think that's the best part about it. Once you start to really think about the mindset that it takes to be successful over and over and over again, you can reapply these same strategies, the same mindset in many different ways. It's transferable activities. It's a transferable mindset. It's not specific to just one thing. And when you document your success, you can see a pattern. You can see a pattern from people who have been successful since childhood. Maybe they won basketball tournaments from the time they were little, all the way up to that in college or into pro. Maybe they've been good at factoring. Maybe they've been good at drawing, and they've become an architect, and you can see it. But when you document these lessons learned, after every failure, take time to reflect and write it down. I mean, after every failure, I think that's important to do, because if you do that, what have you learned? Use this as a guide to avoid a similar pitfalls in the future. And what I mean by that is, this guide is to document it. And once you start having this crazy log of documented successes and documented failures, you just happen to know what didn't work. And you got a long list of the things that just don't work. So let's not spend time on the things that don't work. And this is why I think having mentors in your life are so important. And I think this is where people can really take advantage of having mentors because of the fact that their goal in life is just to share with you experiences and give you nuggets so that you don't spend time in the minors. And I call that the minors. Don't major in the minors. You hear me say it all the time. Because when you major in the minors, that means you're spending time on things that don't work. We're even thinking about it too long. It doesn't work. If your mindset is not in a positive situation, don't think about it. The one thing you can control is how you think. You can rewire yourself that way. And I think that's so important. So important, right? But one of the biggest things I've learned is that if I'm the only one in the room, I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I must, and I absolutely must, surround myself around other people who support what I'm doing. That becomes much more important, because as a young person, I can honestly say that, a lot of times we are doing things and we feel like we're alone. And there is some degree of brilliance that comes out of being alone. There are some people that have achieved many things and it appears that they're alone. If you were to watch tennis, all those great athletes, once again, they're on the court by themselves, but they're not by themselves behind the scenes. The wonderful thing about building a network of positive and understanding people who encourage your resilience and learning rather to use fear of failure. Right? How do I unlearn a fear factor? How can I turn my fears into a positive situation? Well, first of all, if I have a support system that understands that, hey, listen, I understand you're a little nervous. I understand that this is a big obstacle. I understand that there's a lot riding on the opportunity. But if I could just help you break this thing down, is this what you want to happen with your life? Is this what you want for your life? If the answer to that is yes, we need to move to the next step. Second thing, we don't want to jump to the top of the ladder. We want to climb this ladder. So it's important for you to take every single step, one step at a time, and keep looking upward because positivity is upward. Momentum is upward. Eagles fly higher. It chokes out everybody else because there's not enough oxygen down there for everybody else, right? But if I document, I took one step today, I took 3 steps today, I took 10 steps today, I'm 15 steps ahead of someone else who didn't get up until 2 o'clock yesterday. If I work 10 hours today while everybody else is sleeping, I'm 10 hours ahead of you. And if I do it every single day for 7 days, I'm not just 10 hours ahead, I'm 70 hours ahead. And if I do what I'm doing very well every single day, I'm years ahead of you. But I have to surround myself with a support system that understands that can feed into that positivity. And then I start to take calculated risk. Because once I'm taking calculated risk, I know I got a team behind me. I know that sometimes this shoulder is going to say go and this shoulder is going to say no. But if I'm looking at the risk factor, because I've already documented, I'm always achieving my goals. I have a positive way of I'm thinking about the failure. So I've eliminated the things that just don't work. I can take these calculated risks. So don't shy away from challenges. We want to evaluate the risk beforehand. It makes it real easy when you're making an informed decision. And the same thing we talk about what millionaires and billionaires do, or business owners do. The reason why they can look like they're spending on things, taking trips, because they understand their decision-making process is based around usually minimizing their taxes. And they can accept the possibility of failure as part of the process. Every once in a while, yeah, you're going to get dinged, but that's the cost of playing the game to be successful. But the idea behind it is, I'm not undefeated, but I just don't lose often. And if I know that I don't lose often, I'm going to take that calculated risk. I'm always going to play to win. You can always bet on me. And that just puts us in a different perspective, a different mindset. Have I lost anybody? If you're understanding what I'm saying today, give me a thumbs up. Tell me what you may be thinking thus far. Am I going too fast for you? Because we're already at number 5 of taking calculated risk. Because, somebody else may say, that's a risk that I wouldn't take. However, that might be a risk for you. But if I was shooting a basketball, I know that I got an 80% chance of making it. I'm taking the shot. Now, just because I shoot from this distance doesn't mean you're capable of shooting from this distance. This distance may be a 30% chance for you making it. For me, it's an 80% chance of making it. That means that we need to take a calculated risk assessment, right? That means that maybe we don't take that shot if we have a 30% ratio. 80%, I'm shooting that shot. 80% chance I'm shooting that shot. Does that make me a risk taker? Does it? Y'all tell me. Y'all tell me. I don't know if it's really a risk taker, because I've adopted a different mindset. See, when you adopt this different mindset, you're not really taking a risk, I don't think. Why? Because number one, we start to celebrate the wins and small wins. The small wins matter, you guys. So what I want you to do this past week, and this week coming up, I want you to start recognizing, did you get out of bed, make your bed? First of all, did you make your bed? Did you brush your teeth? Did you have breakfast? Did you walk 2 miles before you started your business day? Did you tell someone that you care about, that you love them? Thank you, God, for putting my feet on the ground. Did you recognize and celebrate that progress? No matter how small, this will boost your morale, and it will keep you motivated throughout the day. Even after you have some setbacks. Yeah, maybe you had a little argument yesterday, a little tiff. Apologize, keep it moving. Find somebody to say something nice to. Go right ahead. Give them some positive energy. I promise you, you'll get it right back. Celebrate the small wins. Small wins add up. Every penny adds up to $1, and every dollar adds up to more money. So think about it. If I can celebrate $1 too often, then we'll look at a penny on the ground and just walk by it. We'll look at a quarter and walk by it. But let me ask you, if it was a $100 bill on the ground, would you walk by it? I'll wait. Why? Because most people feel like they can celebrate the win of finding this $100 bill. They can't really do as much with a 10 cent or a dime that they found. But the truth is, if you treat it all the same, it all counts. Again, like I said, you have to adopt a growth mindset. And one of the things that we really focus on here at Lifestyle Focused Wealth is we believe that your abilities and skills can develop through effort and perseverance. Not everybody comes with the same skill set. Not everybody comes 6'8", 235 pounds and can dunk a basketball or run as fast as Deion Sanders or any of those things. This is that is unnatural to think everybody's going to have superhuman strength. But when I meet those people who are willing to give their best effort, and when it hurts and when they're tired, they keep pushing. They want to contribute. This will help you. Because your view of failure as a temporary situation, and that idea that this pain is only temporary, and if I can get past it, it's surmountable. Because I'm in condition. I've gotten myself to the point where I can get past that pain, that ache. You know, boxers a lot of times are hitting the bag. They're punching the bag. They're punching the bag. Just so their knuckles get used to taking that impact. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you go to a gym and you start punching on the bag, I promise you, it's going to get raw. It's going to get raw. But in business and in life, we have to kind of build up a callus. We have to adopt the mindset that this is just temporary. This is just temporary. We have to put the effort in. We have to understand we can persevere past the pain. This pain or failure is temporary. It's just temporary. And look, sometimes we can be hard on one another. We really can. You know, at the beginning of today's broadcast, I talked about not having my cell phone. And it's so amazing that everyone had something to say, but not many people said, you know, I was going to come check on you because I couldn't contact you. You start asking the questions, man, everybody's coming down on me, but I had no phone. I couldn't talk. I couldn't get the email. And they give you all these other things you could have done, but those options weren't available. The one thing in this world that I would never want to do is let you down. That's part of why I'm here every single Friday at 1 o'clock. I don't want to let you down. I don't want to let your friends down. I don't want to let your family down. I don't want to let your legacy down. I want to make sure you're financially educated. I want to make sure you're financially literate. And I want to make sure you're using all this information to make financially intelligent decisions every day of your life. And that's why we intertwine financial planning with your everyday life. That's what Lifestyle Focused Wealth is all about. And in doing that, I know being kind to myself, it matters. I want to avoid being the toughest critic out there. I want to avoid the self-criticism when things go wrong. They're going to go wrong. Sometimes it's going to happen to you. But you have to practice some self-compassion. And you have to focus on what you can do the next time to be better. The next time. If you're fortunate to get a next time. That's like we call it, when the lights go out, are you ready? Well, if my light bulb goes out, I'm going to have a light bulb. I'm going to have one ready. And I can see in the dark. I know where it is. I got one. I got ready. I'm ready. Now, if I don't have any electricity, what are you going to do with the light bulb? Maybe you're going to have one of these that glows in the dark. What can you do the next time to be better? And that's all we're saying. How do you get better? How do you get better? You know, I'm just looking at the takeaways right now. And I'm glad that we're having this conversation. And thank you guys for hanging in there with us, because sometimes I think we just need to hear that it's okay that let's not be so hard on each other. We should be able to help each other whenever we can, right? That doesn't mean that I'm going to let you get over on me, or that doesn't mean I'm going to let you slack off. That just means I just need to be more supportive of your goals and your hopes and dreams and hold you accountable to them. And remind you that it is okay. Let's document the success. Last week you had 3 appointments. This week you got 0. What in the world is that? Surround yourself around people that's going to say, you had 3 appointments last week. You need 6 appointments this week. Let's calculate it. You made $5 last week. You made $50,000 this week. You made $50,000 this week. Let's take a small vacation, not a 6-month vacation, just a 2-day vacation with the people that we love and celebrate, that help us adopt the mindset that what we're talking about. Be kind to yourself. Get a massage. Get your nails done. Go to a beach somewhere. Relax. Am I putting it in order for you today? Somebody asked me, what did that mean, failing forward? How can you fail forward? Man, there was a lot of things I did as a younger advisor that I just thought working all the time was the answer. And what I've learned is I could have been a better parent. I could have been a better friend. I could have been more present in situations where I was with family, especially family that is no longer of this world. I could have probably been a better husband. I could have been a lot of different things. I could have been more dedicated to my field. But that's when that self-criticism starts eating away at you. And you start thinking, no, it's because I went through those experiences that I know. And I value their time. I'm more present because I went through that. I'm more affectionate because I went through that. I'm more reasonable because I went through that. I have growth because I can tell you the calculated risk and the rewards that came with it, they didn't match up. That risk was too high. Maybe I'm not willing to take that risk today. I'm probably more excited about the smaller wins every single day than I am the bigger risk and the bigger reward. I do know that if I continuously keep winning, I'll get there in time. Again, I've adopted this mindset. It's different. I'm asking you to start adopting this mindset. It's different, but you got to be kind to yourself. Learn from others. People's stories help. Successful individuals who have failed long before you, their resilience and their eventual triumphs can inspire you to keep moving forward. I'm hopeful that someone's listening to my podcast today. And I hope that I'm inspiring you to keep pushing forward. Keep moving forward. If you didn't do well yesterday, tomorrow's a new opportunity. Yo, come on with me. Learn from other people. Why not? That's number 9. That's number 9. I don't think you can ever fail when you're looking at a room full of successful people and then you start to hear that they have the same issues that you do. They have the same amount of time as you do. However, how you spend it is different. It's different. Do you spend a lot of time majoring in the minors? Do you spend a lot of time gossiping at the water fountain? Do you spend a lot of time, woe is me, guilt tripping everybody into feeling guilty for you? Or have you figured out how to turn that adversity into fuel? Have you figured out that that group of people around you that's slightly negative, they don't necessarily serve your well-being in this mindset? Maybe I need to change rooms and find something else that is more conducive to my way of thinking and the goals that I'm headed towards. I'm not saying that you have to be mean to people. I'm just saying it's important for you to recognize what your goal is and find people with a similar mindset. That's what I'm saying. That surrounding yourself with support is so important, because that network of people have to understand and have to be positive in helping you overcome your fear of failure. All right? And last but not least, today, that brings us to number 10. Never give up, folks. Never give up. Here's why. It doesn't matter what you do. The essence of failing forward is persistence. Just keep trying. Matter of fact, don't try, do. Put one foot in front of the other. Even if you have to stumble along, keep going. Keep moving forward. Eventually, if you stay committed to your goals and adapt when you need to, you'll never let these setbacks stop you. They can't stop you from trying and trying and trying over and over again, and eventually succeeding over and over and over again. I can promise you this, folks, if you take just a small moment to give these 10 steps an opportunity in your life, if you can implement these strategies, and you can start by using this video to help you train yourself to see failure not as something to fear, but as a stepping stone to your personal and professional development and growth. You will have an amazing week. You will have an amazing month. Your outlook on life will change, and people will start to see you differently. And when you walk in a room, your energy fills up the room, and everybody's going to want a little bit of what you bring to the table. And it's all about starting with your mindset. And that's the difference between successful people, wealthy people, who understand establishing these very, very specific steps. Why they're important. They wake up every day understanding that these 10 steps, we must go through them in order for us to succeed. We must go through them in order for us to succeed. And if we're going to talk about it, you can walk the step. It is so interesting when you can go through it and you can walk through it. Because at that point in life, now you're standing on stages. You're standing on stages because people get to see you. People get to hear you. People start being able to say, you know what, he understands where I'm coming from, and I've never met him. She understands how I'm feeling about the situation that I'm part of. Hi, Shelly. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much for coming in. It's great to see you too. Thank you for joining us. I love it when we have folks come back and say hello. You know, please, if you got me on LinkedIn, go on LinkedIn at Ronco Johnson, Facebook at Ronco Johnson, TikTok at Ronco Johnson, wherever you can find me. Say hello, share it, tell somebody. I'd love to catch up with you. Gotta love it. But I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. Do we have any questions out there? Do we have anybody that kind of feels that, hey, maybe I missed something on these 10? Did I hit it out the park for you today? My only goal is to hope that you have an amazing week, amazing month, and you start to see these steps a little bit at a time. One, you start to redefine, and we're going to review these real quick before we leave today. Let me review them with you one more time because I want to make sure you get it right. I don't want you to think that Ronco didn't tell you. This is 10 actionable steps of failing forward. And I need you to embrace this mindset. It will change your life. I promise. Here's the review. Redefine how you see failure. That's so important. Your perspective of what failure is, it needs to change because it's not the end of the story. It's the stepping stone to the path of growth. Number 2 is achieving your goals. Set achievable goals. Write it down. No matter how big it is, I don't care if they're laughing at you, write them down. They're manageable steps. All you got to do is write them down. And this way, it doesn't matter what you do. If it doesn't work out, you just adjust and you can make this thing happen, right? Number 3, document. Document the lessons that you learn. If you document the lessons that you learn, I promise every piece of failure that you have accomplished, listen to what I just said. Failure, accomplished. Failure, accomplished. Every little bit of failure that you've accomplished, it's kind of like an oxymoron, right? Every failure that you've accomplished in your life, you're going to be able to reflect on it and write it down. And then you're going to promise yourself not to make those mistakes again. I promise you. And keep your group around you. Stay around people who add fuel to your fire. They don't pee on it. Get that negative person out of your ear. Distance yourself from that person that's always questioning your abilities. Surround yourself with support and build a network that is positive with people who understand you and your goals, and their objective is to win at all costs. Then you start taking these calculated risks. Some people say calculated risk are something you should shy away from. But if it's calculated, that means I've already evaluated if these risks beforehand. That means I've already made an informed decision. And I'm going to accept the possibility that failure is just part of the process. Therefore, I'm going to move forward with this idea. Because guess what? If you want to become your own banking system, you're probably got to take a calculated risk because that's probably not your nature of thinking about things that way. If you want to learn how millionaires and billionaires think, they're looking at the tax code differently than you. They're looking at seed capital differently than you. They're looking at loans versus taxable income differently than you. But if you start to evaluate those risks behind it beforehand, I promise you the decision that you make will be different because you've already thought about the possibility. And the chances are, if you think about it long enough, you'll find that you're already failing. So if you just change it a little bit, you're ultimately going to start succeeding. And then you celebrate your wins. Don't forget, every little win counts. If you start growing from 10 cents to $1, $1 to $100, I need you to celebrate that. I need you to celebrate that. Adopt this mindset right now. Start growing. You got to believe in your abilities. You got to believe in your skills. And then you got to put the effort into it, the perseverance into it. It's not going to come easy to you. Understand that that's part of the risk. Understand that's part of the challenge. I'm challenging you. I'm challenging you right now on this cast. That's what I'm doing. I'm challenging you right now to be kind to yourself. Yes, I know there's a lot of us out here that is like, what are you talking about? Be kind to yourself. Yes, we need to stop being so tough on ourselves sometimes. Show some compassion for yourself. Let's focus on what you can do better next time. And if you had a great day today, what can we do better tomorrow? Let's build off of what we're doing great today to have a better tomorrow. And then we can learn from other people that we have put in our circle. Learn from others. Their stories are important. If you don't have a story of your own, find a story, adopt it. Because the resilience in that story, the triumphs in that story, it will inspire you to keep moving forward. I promise you, you'll move forward. And last but not least, I just need you to keep on trying. All right? That's our 10 secrets to success. I want the essence of failing forward to be a part of your everyday motion. I want it to be part of how you see your life. Because I'm telling you, you start to implement these strategies, you can train yourself. You can train yourself. You don't even need a fitness coach. You don't need a financial coach. You can train yourself that fear is not something to be scared of, because it's just a stepping stone to your personal and professional growth. Hey, listen, which one of these is going to be the thing that makes you feel better today? Send me a text, send me a DM, send me a text message, put something down in the chat. Send me a comment, put something down. I know you're listening out there. 72% of you are not even subscribed yet. Do me a favor. If this has landed on you in a certain way, if it's inspired you in a certain way, if it makes sense to you in a certain way, all I want you to do is do me a favor. Tell somebody. Go tell someone. You're here with Ronco Johnson on Lifestyle Focus Friday. Every Friday right here at 1 o'clock. And we want to be able to give you better content. We want to be able to inspire you to be your absolute best. And we want to encourage you to go out there and encourage others and share the secrets of success. We want to, who else wants to be like a millionaire and billionaire? We want to be millionaire and billionaire minded people. And if you haven't heard from your friends, don't act as if they didn't want to call you. Maybe they're sitting at home and just can't. They're stuck. So it's probably up to you to go check on them. So that's my time today. I hope this has landed really well with you today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This has been a great conversation. And remember, this is just 10 actionable failing forward strategies to help you embrace the mindset that will change your life. And we have much more on this topic, and I would love to tell you about the psychological benefits, but you're going to have to tune in next week when we talk about that and how you reduce your fear, how you boost your self-esteem and increase your resilience. All those are next. So come back and join us next Friday, 1 o'clock, right here on Lifestyle Focus Friday. And I promise you, if we take this journey together, we're all going to see in the world today. That's time all to see on how to improve ourselves, because no one's coming to save us. But if we can save ourselves, we can get out of our own hot grease, right? We can get out of our own way. And once you start to figure out that you can get out of your own way, there's nothing left to stop you. I don't want to be stopped. I don't want to be limited. I don't want to have a lifestyle that is built around scarcity. I want to have an abundant life. And I want you to have an abundant life. And I want to encourage you to stick with us and stay with us from here on out. Every single Friday, it's Lifestyle Focus Friday with your guy, Ronco Johnson, your Lifestyle Focus coach. And I look forward to talking to you next week and over the week. I do have my cell phone. I do have my crew back. So hit me up. There's no excuses. Go to roncojohnson.com, schedule some one-on-one time with me today, and I look forward to talking to you. And if I can help you, I want you to tell some more people. Why? Because they all need our help. We need to help each other. And we start doing that right now, today. Thank you for my time. It's my time. I look forward to seeing you next week. Talk to you later. I'm out. Peace.